cut.
Yes, people, I made it. We're rocking guitar music in here.
Thank you guys so much for being here. This is a really big crowd. This is amazing. And so many college students, which is great to see. Always good to see the youth engaged. Just like all of you, I worked really hard in and out of school to be where I am today, and it wasn't always easy. Although I always knew I could go to school, deciding what school to go to was still a really large economic decision for me and for my family. Like many students and many of you guys in the crowd, I made my college decision based on scholarships and what I could afford to go to. And even though I made really smart college decisions, I still have large student loans with huge interest rates. No one should be denied education simply because they cannot afford it.
Diminish our ability as workers, as Americans, to exert our constitutional right to bargain with our employers for better lives. Ohio is on Tuesday. With that being said, I have the great honor to share this stage with some great people. One of them we're all waiting for, and I'm sure as soon as I walk up, you're going to chant his name.
Right. To be our next president of the United States and shatter that glass ceiling. To reject once and for all the hate and the darkness of Donald Trump. Yes, I'm fired up.
Are you ready for the main event? I am not Bernie Sanders, but the next speaker is Bernie Sanders. Let me ask you, which sounds better? Hillary and Bernie's plan to create affordable college for all, or Donald Trump's efforts to rip students off at Trump University? Which one of those sounds better?
No!
We're with Hillary and Bernie. A second issue. I know that the people in this room are very smart. Many of you are UC Bearcats and are getting an excellent Bearcat education. And because you're smart, you believe in science. Is that right? You believe in science? You know that climate change is real and a major threat to our country and our planet. And the fact that you believe in science, that alone makes you smarter than Donald Trump, folks. To Senator Bernie Sanders!
Bernie is in the house.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, PG, thank you very much for that introduction. And I know some of you guys had a rough night last night.
Woo!
But thank you very much for coming out here today. I want to do just a couple of things. I want to begin by suggesting a very radical idea for you. Ready for a radical idea?
Woo!
Here it is. Despite what you see on the evening news and on TV, elections in a democracy, or this particular election, is not about Hillary Clinton. It is not about Donald Trump. It is not about Bill Clinton. It is not about Mrs. Trump or the Trump kids. This election, unbelievably, is about you. This election is not a personality contest. You don't like Mr. Trump, you don't like Mrs. Clinton, fine. What this election is about is which candidate has the ideas and the program to improve life for the working families and the middle class of this country. Children, how they will put gas in the car in order to get to work, because if they can't afford to put gas in the car to get to work, they're going to get fired and a bad situation becomes worse. There are millions of families in Ohio, Vermont, and throughout this country who have beautiful children, but they cannot afford to find quality, affordable childcare. There are elderly people throughout this country who are cutting their prescription drugs, pills in half because they cannot afford the medicine they need. There are disabled veterans who put their lives on the line for this country, trying to get by on $11,000 or $12,000 a year Social Security. Meanwhile, while the middle class over the last 40 years has been disappearing, while 43 million people live in poverty, there has been another economic phenomenon taking place. And that is that the wealthiest people and the largest corporations have done phenomenally well. You ask me what I worry about most in terms of the future of our country, and I've got 4 kids and 7 beautiful grandchildren. What I worry about most is the trend in this country toward an oligarchic form of society. Do you know what I mean by that? What oligarchy is about is when you have a handful of wealthy people controlling the economic and political life of a nation. Now, this is not a new idea. It has existed in many countries all over the world. But we never believed it could happen in the United States of America. We're a democracy. We have a strong middle class. We have equal opportunity for all. That is what we had and what we believe we should have. But let me give you the bad news. Your economy today is controlled by fewer and fewer large multinational corporations. The media is controlled by a half a dozen major people who are going to play the leadership role in this regard, standing up to demand a government and a country that works for all of us, not just the CEOs of large corporations.
Like your help.